A man saved a woman who was on the verge of being hit by a car, but was charged with harassment because he made inappropriate contact with her. Police in Los Angeles said 32-year-old Daniel Reed noticed Jessica Moore stepping into the street while looking at her phone. A car was racing toward her seconds away from impact. Daniel reacted instantly, grabbing her and pulling her out of the way just before the vehicle passed. Surveillance footage later confirmed that his actions had prevented a major accident. However, Jessica later filed a complaint stating that Daniel's actions were inappropriate and violated her personal boundaries. Her legal team argued that no one has the right to touch another person without consent, even in an emergency situation. The case has triggered nationwide debate. Millions online argue that Daniel should be recognized for his quick thinking rather than punished for it. Others insist that physical boundaries must still be respected regardless of intent. Legal experts say the case will likely hinge on intent and public morality, raising questions about where the line should be drawn between consent and heroism. Daniel has maintained that his only intention...
In a sane world, this would be a one-off, but we see it too often. Instead of being grateful he saved her, she wants to sue him for touching her. Perpetual victims like this make society worse, and her plan likely won't work.
Marriage more than women do. And when you look at the statistics of like post-divorce mental health outcomes, men have worse mental health outcomes than women. Women are typically happier after divorce. And so if you want to argue that marriage disproportionately benefits women, like that's not true.
I'd be pretty unhappy too if I was on child support or alimony and I had a hard time seeing my kids.
And you had to support your children. What a hard life.
Well, you understand that it's not taxed. So the problem is they take over 50% of the man's income because it's not, so they have to pay taxes on the stuff they're giving her and take half of his paycheck.
To support his children that he wants to be involved in their lives.
Right, but it wasn't his choice because women leave the majority of the time.
It is his choice to relinquish his parental rights if he wants to.
What I'm saying is many men want to be married and they want to be an involved father and they want to stay with the mother of their children. My point is if she makes the decision to leave, she should pay for it. If you want to leave, that's totally fine, but you should pay to raise your kid.
Is it not his child as well?
And he should pay for the time. That's why I said 50-50 custody off the bat, no child support, no alimony.
So she gets to take on all of the child care responsibilities, but he doesn't have to like pay anything. He doesn't have to have any buy-in.
I didn't say all, I said 50-50 custody. He should have the kid half the time.
But doesn't have to pay any money towards it.
No, he should pay for the kid when the kid's at his house.
Okay, and so the majority of the time when the kid is at the mother's house, he doesn't have to be involved in any way financially?
No, she should pay for it. She has a job. Why should he have to pay for a kid?
He should support it.
If she chose to have the kid and she chooses divorce, why should she not have to pay for her own decision? That's the thing. See, there it is. You want all the freedom to do whatever you want, but you don't.
Hearing women say things like this is the cherry on top. Common sense is fading as accountability-averse people twist truth to fit their delusions and double standards.
How many women want a good man until it requires her to be a better woman? Then suddenly she's not interested. Suddenly it's, I'll find a man who will accept me just as I am. No, if you want a good man, sometimes that means you have to become a better woman. I've been in a relationship for 2 years, I'm engaged, and I'm working at becoming a better woman all the fucking time. Why wouldn't you? I saw a video earlier today where a guy asked a woman what a woman should do to take care of a man in a relationship, and she was baffled, dumbfounded that he would even ask that question. I mean, who is raising these girls? Like, they really just think that their don't stink and that they are God's gift to this earth, and any man who she allows to touch her should be grateful. No, if you want a good man, sometimes that requires you to become a better woman. And the same goes vice versa. You want a good woman, become a better man. It's very simple. Say that to a woman though, and suddenly it's, I'm a victim.
I went on a date last night, and every time I go on a date, it just makes me more and more like grateful for the choices that I made in my life up to this point.
What kind of choices, you might ask? You may think that you know, but this is no ordinary woman. She comes from a completely different culture. Watch this video and listen to her speak womanese. It's a very distinct language. Unfortunately, very few men can understand it, so I'm going to act as translator.
I just started like seriously dating again after, I mean like in January, I took like a long hiatus. I didn't really date anyone seriously last year.
Now, you might think that a woman of her age can't afford to take time off off dating because she's approaching infertility. But in womanese culture, biology has been ruled to be a sexist invention of the patriarchy. They passed a law granting all women infinite time to reproduce, so she's not worried.
And this guy was tall, he has a good job, he's attractive, he owns property, he seemed like he had everything going for him.
Tall, attractive, good job, owns property. He has everything going for him. In our language, that phrase might mean that he's kind, he has good values, good personality, but in womanese culture, the only qualities that men are rated by have to do with looks and wealth. Men don't exist outside of those categories.
But we were talking and I was just like, we are just not compatible. Because I was talking to him and he's basically like, well, what's your priority right now in your life? And I'm like, I'm my priority. Like, what do you mean? What else would my priority be? Like, my job and growing and myself, I'm my priority.
See, the man actually made a big misstep here because that question that he asked her was very culturally insensitive. Asking her about her priorities shows how uneducated he is about womanese culture. He should have done his homework because the only priority for womanese women is themselves. In womanese culture, there is no other possible answer to that question, and that's why she's so surprised. Of course, she is her only priority, and he really should have known that. Big red flag.
And he was telling me how all of his friends have kids and he's one of the only single people. And I was like, how old are you? And he's like 33. I was like, that's crazy because every single one of my, I hardly know anyone married.
He's 33 and his friends are married with children. That seems normal and age appropriate to us, but then why does she seem so surprised? It's because in womanese culture, women mature very, very slowly. They're not rushed like women are in different cultures. To us, the idea of using your 20s to travel, to grow, to learn about yourself, and then in your 30s, think about partnering up, starting a family, having children, that seems normal. But in womanese culture, women are so unique and special that one decade is not possibly enough time for her to truly get to know herself. She needs her 30s, her 40s, and even beyond to still be dedicated to self-exploration. That's how special she is. She needs that time.
They love citing basic facts, but ignore context that ruins their arguments. Women like this know the legal and family court systems are biased in their favor, and they exploit it, using kids as leverage to get as much child support and alimony as possible, caring only about what benefits them.
The husband store. This is the mind of an Eternal Seven. A brand new store has just opened in New York City that sells husbands. When women go to choose a husband, they must be able to abide by the following instructions. You may visit this store only once. There are 6 floors, and the attributes of the men increase as the shopper ascends. There is, however, one catch. You may choose any men from a particular floor, or you may choose to go up to the next floor, but you cannot go back down except to exit the building. Those are the rules. So, a woman goes into the husband store to find a husband. On the first floor, the sign reads, Floor 1, these men have jobs and love kids. She looks around and says, oh, great, have jobs and love kids. But she decides to, instead of picking a man here, go up to floor 2 because the quality of men keeps ascending as she goes up. She knows the rules. Time is ticking. The second floor reads, these men have jobs, love kids, and love God. She likes this floor, but instead her curiosity is getting the better of her. Floor 1 was good, floor 2 was better, gotta see floor 3. Floor 3 reads, these men have jobs, love kids, love God, and are extremely good looking. Jackpot, floor 3. But if this is what's happened by floor 3, what do you think happens? She keeps on going. Wow, she thinks. But she feels compelled to keep going. So she goes to the 4th floor and the sign reads, these men have jobs, love kids, love God, are drop dead gorgeous, and will help with housework. That's on the 4th floor. 2 floors left, but on the 4th floor. Oh, mercy me, she exclaims. I can hardly believe it, but still. She goes to the 5th floor and the sign reads, these men have jobs, love kids, love God, are drop dead gorgeous, help with housework, and have a strong romantic streak. They can put it down, and they're romance guys. She is so tempted to stay. But then she goes to the 6th floor and the sign reads, you are visitor number 4,363,012 to this floor. There are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please. Thank you for shopping the husband store. Goodbye.
He advised, avoid these types at all costs. They cry and complain when their own choices backfire, believing they can do whatever they want without facing the consequences.
I'll never forget the time that I went on a date with this man.
Every time I think we take 2 steps forward, we end up taking 5 steps back in this dating pool. Few discretions advised.
And on the date, like long story short, on the date it started raining. All right, we were supposed to go out to eat, and then we was going to get some work pants across the bay in Mobile. We was going across the bay. And it started raining, and, you know, when we got to the place, he was like, you know, it's raining. Do you want me to park you at the door, or, you know, how you want to do it? And I'm just like, no, you know, it's cool, like, whatever. Y'all, why this man stopped at the gas station and got me an umbrella so we could walk in the store and I didn't have to get wet. And when I tell y'all, I never talk to that man again, because personally, I just want to that's gonna make me run. That's gonna be like, ready, set, go, run. You know what I'm saying? Like, take off. Like, I don't know. If you stopping to go get an umbrella, it really icks me out. Like, why don't you go get me an umbrella?
See what I mean? See what I mean, right? Now, I wanted to chalk it up as like rage bait. I wanted to chalk it up as like, oh, she's just talking. But I took the liberty of going on her page, and a lot of her videos are very similar to this one. She seems very sincere about what she's saying. But I swear, you can't make this shit up. It's impossible. You cannot make this up. And I can assure you, she's gonna get with the guy that she truly deserves, right? Trust me when I tell you, she's gonna get with the guy that she truly deserves. And then when he dragged her through the mud, all of a sudden men are just horrible dogs. She wanted don't give a fuck about her. And then when she find a man that don't give a fuck about her, because those men exist, men ain't as a whole. And she will never give credit to the man that actually showed her compassion. She gonna wait until she have a couple of kids and the streets done had their way with her to try and go back and get that man. And when he declines, she gonna be like, oh, this was wrong with men now. You're not real men. Nah. But you know what? When it's all said and done, there's one part of that video that I do appreciate from her. She left that man alone. He don't deserve that. Not even a little bit. And my boy, wherever you are, if you see this video, bro, go find a woman that can appreciate who you truly are as a man. And leave the skeezers for the streets. You can't save them all. Trust me. It's not worth your time.
If you enjoyed this video, you'll love the next one. See you there.